Hey, so if you're starting your online course business journey, you're starting your solo online business, one person online business, or even if you're in this business for a while, you probably are looking for a solution to host your courses, to have your website, to have all your business in one place. And if you are looking for this solution, I can't recommend Kajabi enough, because I've talked about like ways of making money on this channel for single one person business, but there's always there's one part of it like making money, and the next part is having correct tools to do that, simple tools. Because I think at this moment in your business, especially, well, if you're one person business, at any point in your business, right? It's all about simplicity, because you're a single person managing all of this, right? And you want your whole business to be in one place. And what Kajabi right now particularly is offering, why I actually am making this video, because they've actually offered a deal that they haven't offered for a long time, or maybe never, like for as long as I remember them, because I've been using Kajabi for 5-6 years. So basically, once you're a client of Kajabi, you can become their affiliate, right? And what I can offer you here is to get 12 months, 50% off with the affiliate link. So basically, you have 14 days to decide whether or not this plan works for you, this deal works for you. If you do decide, don't go through a simple link to Kajabi. Like if you enter on Google, go to Kajabi, you're going to get this for 6 months only deal. You don't necessarily have to go through my link. Just go through any affiliate's link to get 12 months. But let me just tell you why I think you should be interested in this offer, right? Because Kajabi, usually the price is like this. The basic plan is $179. The growth plan is $249 a month, right? If we're looking basically monthly, right? And what you get with the plans, I would not necessarily look at the basic, although if you're in the beginning of your journey, up to first 2,500 contacts, you could still look at the beginning plan, like the basic one. But if you look at the growth plan, if you're thinking long-term about your business, right? So once you reach 25,000 contacts, that means sending newsletters, emails every week, in some businesses maybe every day or every other day, that's going to cost you a significant amount of money. And even this price, which you're going to pay after the 12 months, right? After the 12 months period, is still worth it when it comes to having everything in one place and still having contacts, this much like email marketing available to you. Because if you jumble everything together, for example, if you create a website on one place, if you create email marketing on another, you have to connect everything up. But in Kajabi, like for example, I can show you an example of what I mean actually. So let's say I want to create an email campaign, right? Let me just show you what I can do. So for example, I click new email campaign, right? And I click, instead of email sequence, right, where I send them one by one emails, I create email broadcast. So I click continue over here, right? Doesn't matter which template I pick, because that's not what I want to show you, like test. Let's create this one, right? What I want to show to you is the kind of segmentation Kajabi offers you natively. You don't have to do anything with the tags, although you can work with tags, and even with the tag system, create even more segmentation that you need, right? But like, for example, instead of sending to all of my recipients, to all of my email list, right? I choose a custom segment. And for example, I look for a specific filter I want to add. So never subscribed is customer, right? Then contact activity filters. How long have they been active, right? Or how long have they been inactive? When they joined, right? All the engagement stuff. How long have they engaged, right? How long have they disengaged from opening emails, right? Have they clicked a specific link? Do they have a specific product? Have they finished a particular part of a product? All of this is actually a really, really useful information, and all of this is already built in Kajabi, because everything is in one place for you, right? You have your website, you have your email marketing, you have your products, you have your coaching, you have your community. If you want to, you can have a community, although I do think that community could be more robust. Like for example, I like school more when it comes to community aspect. but it's still nice to have everything under one roof. And trust me, I have 3 different brands, 3 different channels working here. Like Edgar Content, it's a relatively new one. I have Spoken Lithuanian, where I teach Lithuanian language. I have Educus, where I teach English language, although I do make sales through a different system a little bit on that one, right? But yeah, I'm all in on Kajabi. Like I pay, I think like 350 euros a month or something like that for having 3 websites over here. I'm thinking about adding 4th, right? So trust me, I trust fully in Kajabi because I know how easy it is. To do everything in here and how simple it is. Like, for example, I can give you another example. I used to have System.io, right? System.io website. And to some extent, in the beginning of your business, if we look at the pricing, right, I want to be as transparent with you as possible, right? So right now we're looking not at annual billing, which would give you 2 months for free, right? So you would only be paying for 10 months on the monthly pricing if you pay upfront. But let's look at the monthly billing. So, right, they even have a free plan where you have up to 2,000 contacts. So if we look at Kajabi, right, even the basic plan gets you 2,500 contacts for $89 a month. Their biggest plan, which is $97 a month, is unlimited. So you basically get everything unlimited in here. But do I recommend System.io? Unless you're really tight on a budget, right? Unless you're really... I would say really in the beginning and want to spend as little as possible, you could start with System.io. I will leave the link in the description. You can click on it, try, work it out a little bit. But Kajabi does offer free trial. So my suggestion is to you, go test these out. Go test System.io and see how intuitive it is for you to build the systems in there. Go to Kajabi, try creating courses, try creating newsletters, and see how everything works together. Potentially for me, the biggest problems were just not having all that information about my contacts available to me, right? Like at the click of a button. I have, with System.io, you have to think about a lot of stuff in advance. Like I want to be able to know what kind of product person has. I need to create a specific tag so that when a purchase happens on a specific course, that tag is added to the person that purchased. Sort of System.io, at least at this moment, doesn't internally contain that information. At least they do contain it, but they don't keep it to you, and it's not available to you unless you think of it a little bit upfront, right? There are ways to work around this, but it's much more intuitive and much more easy in Kajabi. Therefore, in my opinion, like I've tried, I've looked through Podia, I looked through Thinkific, Teachable. When I was creating courses, I wanted to go through most of the platforms, right, that I was thinking about, but like Podia is another close example, right? If we look at this, like if we go to Podia, pricing wise and everything else, I think they have increased their prices recently a little bit, but still Podia is a good example of something that you could use also. So let's just toggle this off just to see the monthly, right? So with monthly, you get $89 a month, right? And then you get less than 100 subscribers. If we go up, let's see 25,000, the one that offers here. So yeah, 160 plus 89 or, no, so I think that's 160 in total, right? Not with 89. And not too, okay, so yeah, it's a bit cheaper than Kajabi as well, right? But with Podia, you don't really get like a website. It's sort of like a one-pager that's not that much customizable. At least it didn't used to be in the past. So I think that this is something that you really need to try out. Like, you can take my word for it if you want to. You really don't have to, test everything out. You can just go all in if you want to. But what I would do, I would test it out, because every of these platforms like System.io is free up to 2,000 contacts. Podia is also, I think, they have 30-day free trial, and Kajabi also does that as well. And you still have some days, to test it out before the plan, before this offer expires. Because trust me, this is a good offer. I haven't seen this type of offer from Kajabi in like 5 or 4 years. Definitely. So this is a really good price, right? And as I've said, like, for example, I am on the Pro plan, right? So I pay $4.99. In the beginning, you can start 3 websites, right, for $2.49, which is like for a year. This is a huge leverage, right? This is a huge leverage for you. And what Kajabi, as I said, offers, it offers you everything in one place, and it offers you a polished version of it. Because I would see Podia and System.io, they do fit that bill of offering everything under one roof. But with System.io, the polish, well, it's not immediately there. I mean, there's more customizability actually with System.io, the way you can customize your website, but the polish is not there, and at least not initially, right? With Podia, right? I would say it's much easier, much more intuitive than System.io. But again, the options that you have and the polish, it's not up to the level of Kajabi. From what I've tried, from what and when I say polish, I mean both sides. That means customer experience for your customers, the one that buys your products, the ones that buy your courses, coaching, communities, whatever. Digital downloads if you wanted to. And the level of polish, I mean, intuitively, ease of use for you as a customer once you're at the back end of the platform is also the best when it comes to Kajabi. So, as I said, this video, I saw this sale and I thought I immediately, for this channel, I have to create this video because, well, it's all about solo business and there's nothing better right now than Kajabi for solo business. And you can use my affiliate link if you want to. You would be helping me a lot. But you don't have to you can use another person's affiliate link, but just trust me, if you do decide to buy it, if you go to Kajabi website, they're going to offer you 6 months, go for 12 months with an affiliate link. That's just my suggestion to you. That's the way the marketing system works in this situation. So just do yourself a favor and do that. Okay, use my link or somebody else's. But yeah, I would say try this out. I can honestly say I think Kajabi right now, at least right now, is the best, still the best. It has been the best for a long time, probably 5 or 6 years when I started looking for it. That's what I found out that was the best, and I think it's still the best. But you have to try this one out yourself. Best of luck in your solo business, in your online business. By the way, if you want, I have a free PDF that I created about creating your first product, just like a quick read that you have printed out somewhere to have it, like what you have to do to create your first product, how to know your first product, because that's the biggest problem for people, just finding your first product. What can I sell online? That was my biggest problem, at least, until I realized I can create a lot, right? So, yeah, I have a PDF that you can download. It's in the description, so just click on it. It's my free gift to you. And as I said, try out Kajabi. Make sure that you don't waste your time when it comes to this. If you're thinking about platforms, go check it out. Go try it out. Don't buy it immediately. Go through the free trial, right? Just look at the platforms. Look at all of these three if you want to. Maybe don't look at Teachable. I would say don't look at Teachable or Thinkific if you're thinking about doing email marketing, right? So that would be these, like Thinkific, right? This is Thinkific, and this is Teachable, right? There are other options, of course, but these are, the time-tested, the true ones, right? That a lot of people are using. So I would say, if you want to use a separate email provider, maybe you already do on Thinkific or Teachable, that definitely works. You can even use it on Gumroads, just if you sell digital downloads. But if you're thinking about all-in-one, having everything in one place, Podia, System, or Kajabi, I think those are still the best. System.io, of course, is the best when it comes to pricing. Podia is just like a vanilla version, like a easy-to-use version. Kajabi is also easy to use, a bit more on the expensive side, but with the perfect offer that they're offering right now is just hard to resist. So if you're waiting on the moment to pull the trigger on your online business, on your solo one-person online business, now is the time, okay? So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this type of content, consider subscribing. I will try to make as much of it as I can. I'll try to help you create the solo business that I've created for myself, the freedom that I've got from this. And yeah, I will see you in future videos.